At the height of his career, David was everywhere. Millions of streams, selling out events. But while his audience was watching his rise to fame, something else was happening that, to people who streamed his music, seemed entirely out of sight. Behind the music and behind the fame was a relationship that ended in the murder of a 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez. David Anthony Burke was born on the 28th of March 2005 in New York City. His family would move to Houston, Texas during his childhood, and he would only be in public school until the age of 13, when his parents pulled him out to be homeschooled. During his upbringing, he wouldn't listen to mainstream music. Instead, as his family were very religious, he would spend most of his time listening to gospel tunes and artists like Beethoven and Mozart. He was raised as a Christian, and it was only when he started to be homeschooled that he was allowed to listen to other music. He says when he discovered mainstream artists, his mind started going crazy, pushing him to gain a lot of interest in the world of music. He secretly downloaded SoundCloud, but had to hide it from his parents. They were the type who every week would check his phone to make sure he was staying on the right track. He would listen to artists like XXXTentacion, Lil Pump, Playboi Carti, and Lil Uzi outside of their earshot, making sure to keep that side of his life private. And because he was kept away from everything and sheltered, he turned to the online world, where many people like him can find a home. He made friends and quickly found out that he had a big love for video games. Before setting his sights on becoming a music artist, he was very passionate about gaming. In fact, he wanted to become a professional one day, and he spent a lot of his time playing the popular online battle royale Fortnite. He would engage with a lot of the online content surrounding the game, most notably gameplay montages, and he would find out about a lot of new artists this way. Discovering people like The Neighborhood and Arctic Monkeys, he would use their songs over his own gameplay, but he quickly discovered that wouldn't fly on YouTube. After the copyright infringement started, he realized he needed to do something different, and so he made his own tracks to accompany his montages. The first song he put into a Fortnite edit was You and I, and he says that he didn't expect anything to come from it. So you can imagine his shock when others in the community started to use his track. As soon as he saw that, he knew that he needed to capitalize on the small success that had come out of nowhere. He says that he still felt isolated though, so he would take his online friends' experiences and turn them into songs. In 2022, he released 2 official singles as he prepared to release his debut EP. He was starting to gain an audience, especially on TikTok, where his songs often went viral, and one snippet of one of his singles would blow up. It was called Romantic Homicide, and it was officially released in July 2022. It peaked at number 33 on the Billboard Hot 100, with the second single Here With Me also placing its 60th on the charts. The success of the independently released songs led David getting in touch with Darkroom and Interscope, leading him to officially sign with them in September of that year. In May 2023, he would release his first studio recorded EP, Petals to Thorns. It peaked at 105 on the charts, and it was widely considered successful. He released one more EP that September and continued to build on the buzz that was quickly developing around him. He was only 17 at this point and already carving out a career for himself, and it didn't take long for other artists to take notice. Over the next few years, he would feature alongside popular musicians such as SZA and Luffy. Throughout 2024, he would continue to release singles and would even appear on the soundtrack of the popular Amazon Prime TV series Invincible, also making an appearance on the soundtrack of Arcane. He was everywhere, and in 2025, he officially announced his debut album, Withered. Days later, he would announce his world tour. He would be traveling to many different places, and it was set to kick off in August in California. So how did a man at the peak of his fame become a horrible criminal? Well, despite things seeming great on the surface, privately, David lived a very different life. It's not uncommon for people with audiences to communicate using Discord. It is a popular platform, and some of the biggest creators out there have their own servers. David was no different. His server was created by a fan named Moji around the time that he signed his record deal, but it wasn't just fan run. Although a large number of the moderators were just supporters, there was at least one member of David's management on the mod team. David himself would become an active and regular member in the server, regularly sharing links to his new releases, encouraging people to sign up to his newsletters and mailing lists, and to attend his shows. He would also use the Discord server to participate in discussions surrounding his own music. For example, in the music video to one of his most popular songs, Romantic Homicide, he chose to name the blindfolded male character Itami, the Japanese word for pain. He would announce that Itami was the first character of many in what he would dub as the David verse. Although the circumstances are unclear, around the time that he was starting to become active on the Discord server and fan spaces in 2021, David would meet an 11-year-old girl called Celeste Rivas Hernandez. He was 16 at the time, and just a year later, in 2022, he would begin to date her. He was 17, she was 12. She would, at some point, join the Discord server, and he would write, "Celeste in here?" To which she replied, "Hi David, Burke." By August, they were starting to plan to meet up in real life, and in one leaked Discord exchange, Celeste describes her parents as effing annoying because they wouldn't let her go and watch David perform. His response was simple: "Don't worry, I'll fix it." At home, Celeste was talking about her new boyfriend. She even came home one day with a tattoo, and around the same time, she started to run away. In 2024 alone, her family reported her missing on 3 separate occasions. It is believed that she was leaving to go and see David, and through recently discovered evidence, it seems that they started to have sexual relations at this point. And he wasn't exactly being private with it all. It seems that some of his fans knew he was dating Celeste, although they claim not to have known her age. He even wrote an unreleased song about her, which eventually leaked. Titled Celeste, the song was recorded in late 2023, just months after he released Romantic Homicide on her birthday. In the bridge of the song, he says, "Oh Celeste, the girl with my name tattooed on her chest. Smell her on my clothes like cigarettes. I hear her voice each time I take a breath. I'm obsessed." And obsessed he was, because he couldn't stay away from the young girl. In a resurfaced clip from a livestream on January 11th, 2024, he was on camera with a girl who looks like Celeste. In fact, he tells the mods to delete all VODs and clips of this after he deletes the stream.
Answer that one. That's so mean if you don't answer
Which
that.
Which one? What's good, David? Big fan, big spot me. Oh, thank you, Mitochondria. Appreciate you.
I gotta stop with him if you even.
We
need to delete this.
Maz, can we delete all VODs? And then as soon as the stream ends, delete the stream too?
This indicates guilt, as there had to be a reason that he didn't want this out there. That reason, as we now know, is because it directly links him to Celeste without a doubt when she was just 13. He knew what he was doing was wrong, and one day Celeste changed her mind about the relationship. She didn't want this to go on any longer. She wanted out. And so, she wanted to tell the world the type of person that David really was. Now, we really don't know what actually happened, but at some point, allegedly, he found out, and in a desperate attempt to save his career for his upcoming album release, he made a decision that you can't come back from. Celeste was last seen by her family on the 5th of April 2024 at the age of 13. According to friends and others in her life, they lost all contact contact with her by August of that year. This final photo was found of her, taken on January 2nd, 2025, and it is now suspected by prosecutors that Celeste was murdered by David on April 23rd, 2025. Just 3 days later, he would host an album presentation with fans, where he would notably cry on stage while performing the song Afterlife for the first time. With the date of the murder taken into consideration, it turns what some considered a sweet moment into something much darker. He would also continue posting TikToks in the days after her murder, and in one, he would be spotted with a red cross tattoo covering up what some believed to be a wound on his right hand. You can see a slight cut off to the right of the cross, and it is known that Celeste had defensive marks. Her autopsy stated that she had one stab wound on her right abdomen with an injury to the liver. A second stab wound was discovered on the left side of her chest. Her body was then dismembered into several parts, and investigators described her remains as being in an advanced stage of decomposition. The left ring and pinky fingers appear to have been mutilated, and inside the cut surfaces they found fragments of blue plastic, which they think could have come from a plastic knife or another similar object. After he was finished mutilating the body, medical examiners believed that the remains were refrigerated in some way. They were exploring the theory that this happened, but the latest report has little mention of this. He ended her life, and he then stuffed her into the back of his black Tesla. He then kicked off his world tour as if nothing had happened, and was preparing to perform in Minneapolis the day the gruesome discovery was made. On September 8th, 2025, just a day after what would have been Celeste's 15th birthday, her remains were discovered. His car had been towed in Los Angeles after someone in the neighborhood had reported it abandoned, and according to sources, it has been parked in various places around the Hollywood Hills since May 2025. It was left abandoned for a few weeks before the call was made, and was found 500 feet from his property. When it was towed, it started to smell, and that's when they found Celeste's body. The most recent discovery was on his phone, where prosecutors say that they found a significant amount of CSAM on his iCloud. Whether it was downloaded or footage of Celeste or potential other victims has not been revealed, but either way, it adds another charge against him. David had expressed in the past that he had a love for and fascination towards real-life gore videos. That has indicated to people that he may have been recording his own snuff film of some sort, which would explain why prosecutors have hit him with heavy sexual abuse charges that surpass just having relations with a minor. The internet reaction to the discovery was interesting to say the least. In the fan spaces, when our identity was given to the public, everyone started to switch on him because they knew exactly who that girl was. Deep down, they knew he had something to do with this, but on massive subreddits like r/music, others initially weren't so sure. There's like zero chance this dude was actually involved in the homicide, one person said. He's on tour. The car was only registered to him, so there is a good chance that the body was placed there, though it is weird someone had access to his car. He tours with his parents, and unless his parents are in on it, I'm highly doubting he's actually involved. But the evidence is now there. Doubters have changed their mind, and there is no doubt that David killed Celeste in cold blood. Now that we know about the case, I wanted to touch on the people who knew David. Imagine feeling like you are someone's friend just for them to turn around and be a murderer. That is what friends of the singer are going through, but not everyone believes that they are totally innocent. In a statement posted to his Discord server, the moderator team said, "We, the Discord and Twitch staff team, want to clarify what we knew and didn't know regarding Celeste. We were not aware of her true age or that she was a missing person. We also did not have any contact with her outside of what was public. From what was shared in David's Twitch streams and from her role in the server, we understood her to be around 18 to 19 years old. We do not support David's actions in any capacity. Our priority has always been the well-being of members in this community. We are deeply saddened by the situation and extend our prayers to Celeste's family. They also say in the statement that they had limited contact with David or his management, but some people are not buying it. In the leaked livestream clip, not only did he tell the mods to delete the VOD and clips, which is already highly suspicious in the first place, but Celeste does not look like an adult. According to some sources, one moderator called Slim is even victim blaming her on social media, saying that she lied about her age and that they thought she was 19. But it is a fact that no one could have looked at this poor girl and thought she was over the age of 18. In a private Twitch mod chat on the Discord server, the same mod, Slim, even admitted to knowing. Another mod stated after the discovery of the body that even if he didn't do it, he likely had a relationship with a minor. Slim admits that they knew about it, saying, "Bro, I don't want to say too much about her, but he did. Like, I gotta watch out for what I say. It's just crazy cause me and David had been friends for a while." Slim contradicts himself just a few moments later when the same mod asks why no one said anything. Slim claims that he barely knew of her existence, which seems to be a bare-faced lie. Slim was called out for talking about it, with a senior moderator called Zerx saying, "What do you not understand about Zero Comment?" Slim says that they will change their name on Discord so that no one knows it's them, proving that they knew they were going to be under fire for knowing about this and doing nothing. Even though they try to claim that they are innocent, and some of them are, there are definitely people who knew. People close to David. People who moderated his chats. They could have saved Celeste's life. But alas, they didn't. They let this continue unchecked, and now they're trying to lie their way out of it. Everyone involved has been trying to cover up their relationship, but the internet doesn't hide things. Digital footprints are real, and they can't erase Celeste from the images she is in, or the videos where David dedicated things to her. And the most damning piece of evidence of them all was a video posted by none other than the producer of his album. He posted it to his Instagram, and in the video, posted just days before Celeste's death, you can hear background chatter, and then someone around the table, part of David's inner circle, says something disturbing.
Where's he from? We need to be investing in this?
Which one? Is it Whitaker?
If it's fucking Farm Boy, I'll beat the shit out
I'll
of
freak
it.
out.
Are you still dating that
I
minor?
love him.
He has pleaded not guilty to the charges against him, and things are now in full swing. Prosecutors have 40 terabytes of evidence against him, and they are extremely confident that they can send him down. He is currently in prison, where he is being held in a single segregated cell. He is being escorted from his cell to the shower every other day, where he is allowed to make phone calls. He gets 3 hours of recreation time a week with fresh air, but he does not get access to entertainment like a TV or other inmates. He cannot have visitors, and as things stand, he has no money on his books. It is unknown whether he'll get a life sentence or the death penalty, but there are people rooting for both. At the height of his fame, he ruined his life, but he was never the angel that people thought he was. Since he started online, he was a monster, and that's what he'll be known as for the rest of his life. But we shouldn't end this video focusing on a monster like him, because it's not just his life that he ruined. We should focus on the life that he cut short. Celeste will forever be 14 years old. She was a daughter, a sister, a friend, her family said. A young girl just trying to figure out life. She loved Hello Kitty. She was just trying to find the love that she gave to other people. And now, She'll never get the chance to do all of the things she should have been able to do in life, and that is utterly heartbreaking. Whatever you believe in, I hope that if there's anything on the other side, she's finally surrounded by the love that she deserves. Thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. If you did learn something, don't forget to like, subscribe and share the video, it really helps the channel. If you're listening on Spotify, you can rate the podcast 5 stars and also follow the show. All of my social links are in the description and on screen right now, and thank you to everyone supporting the channel through memberships or over on Jessica Plus, you mean the world to me. I'll be back very soon, but if you want another right now, then I think that you'll like the video that's on your screen.